Welcome to Horizontal Cathedral Guide. This raid is a 4-man abyss dungeon. It has 3 difficulties, but they do not have mech or pattern difference. The only difference is boss's damage and HP. Also, the revive count is infinite, so the raid is free. But if everyone dies at once, like from the wipe mech, then it's a restart. Gate 1 is human type and he is weak to dark element, so you should run dark set. Battle items, atropine or stimulant, dark, and sacred charm. In Gate 1, certain patterns apply a debuff. If it stacks up to 3, then a giant hammer falls to that player, so just put it on the outside. There's no rumble system, but when he's staggered, then you do much more damage for a few seconds. So look at his stagger bar, and when he's staggered, use atropine and main DPS skills. This mech happens regularly. Script appears and he aggroes a telegraph to a player. Across the center, there's a giant bell. Dodge the puddles and aggro it to the bell. Then he charges to the bell and gets stunned. If you fail to aggro him, then it does raid wipe damage which you can time stop. There's a mech at 160. After that mech, this 180 regular mech gets enhanced. From the big bell, pulse spreads out. Spacebar it and aggro the charge to the bell. Failing the spacebar will stun you. He teleports to the center. The goal is to DPS him in the given time while just guarding. If you fail, it's a raid wipe. You will see an orb that is bigger than the others. When he tries to hit the bell, guard the bell, then guard the big orb. Sometimes there can be 2 giant orbs. In that case, guard the bell and dodge the explosion. Repeat the mech and DPS. The goal is to take his shield down in time while repeating the mech. If you fail, it's a raid wipe. 4 tiles will be shown, 2 white and 2 yellow. Players also get 2 colors each. Stand on the correct color. Only 1 player can stand on each. If not, they take damage. Then he shows flash, which can be white or yellow. Memorize it and DPS him from your spot. Then the tiles pop and a small explosion happens from him. Right after this, if the previous flash was white, spacebar the pulse. If it was yellow, just guard. If you succeed, you get shield damage buff. He goes to the center, just guard the slam. The field gets smaller, and a line crosses the center. Stay away from it and get in right after it pops. All players stay in the center. 2 people look left and the other 2 look right. 2 bosses will charge from each edge. When they charge, the one that jumps requires guard, and the other one on the floor requires counter. 2 people on each side just have to do it. For the line at the start, if you go in too early or too late, then you take a lot of damage and will not be able to differentiate the counter and guard. This mech happens every 1 minute. Also, regularly, a clone attacks from random edge. When it comes close, guard. That's all for the mech. If you push him to 0, the raid finishes. He slides the field and stuns nearby, then requires counter. After 160, it becomes co-op counter. He throws the hammer in the front, then backsteps and requires counter. You get knocked out when you get hit by the backstep. He spins his hammer which does massive damage. Move out right away. After 160, puddles appear, and at the end, he hits in, then out. He swings 3 times, then hits in certain shape 2 times. After the first hit, move to that spot to dodge the second hit. He dashes and does red circle, then attacks outside, so get in. 3 white and yellow orbs spawn, and he aggros to a player 3 times. You have to let him hit the 3 orbs that have opposite color of his hammer. The aggro changes on every hit. If you fail to destroy the correct orbs, then they explode, which does massive damage. He attacks in 3 directions for 2 times, then teleports and attacks again. After 160, some of the last attacks can be guarded. If you succeed, you get DPS time. He smashes 1 time, then requires guard. If you succeed, then you get DPS time. He boomerangs his hammer, which hits the outside, then pulls the hammer from the right side, which hits you if you're too close to him. He charges his hammer and swings 3 times, stick to him for 2 times, then guard. After 160, you have to guard 2 times on 2nd and 3rd. He teleports with line attacks and lands with stun, then requires guard. He attacks 3 times with puddles, then requires guard. Gate 2. The boss is also human type and weak to dark. For the battle items, take Destruction Bomb. When he's staggered, his bell can be destroyed. Throw the bombs and destroy it. Then you can do longer DPS. Gate 2 has only 1 mech, and he does it when the team meter is full. But before covering the mech, there's a special pattern that he does at half meter. So let me explain that first. There are 2 kinds of special patterns, and he does one of them. First pattern, he hits the bell and hits the ground, which makes yellow puddles. Then he jumps with AoE attack. Afterward, you will see Shine Effect, which resets your spacebar's cooldown. Then his bell shine and he charges to the front and hits the bell, which makes a very fast pulse. If you get hit by the pulse, you get an incoming damage debuff, so you have to spacebar when he tries to punch the bell. From the random direction, guard happens. You guard by looking at the boss. This shoots Sonic Wave, which does some stagger if it hits. Second pattern, Blue Circle Telegraph is shown from him. Stay out. If you get hit, then you get stunned, which is pretty much a kill. Then Just Guard Telegraph covers the field. Stay on the spot where there's only 1 telegraph and guard by looking at him. If someone hits, then he guards the wave and shoots again. Go to the single telegraph and guard to the boss. Then he does some stagger. The guard telegraph can overlap. In that case, you cannot guard 2 at a time. So move to a single telegraph or just move out. There's no raid wipe. When the meter becomes full, cutscene happens. Artifacts appear on the edge. Each artifact provides 1.5% damage reduction stack to the boss. There are 60 of them, and the goal is to destroy these artifacts by doing the mech. Then DPS him in the given time. Go to ×3, you will see layers of telegraph. Stand on the yellow one and guard when the pulse reaches you. Then your character shoots Sonic Wave to that direction, which destroys all the artifacts on that side. DPS the yellow bar, then stagger him. That's the end of the mech. If you fail, it's a raid wipe. Even if you fail to destroy all of them, he does this mech again before the time ends. One last thing to know, if you shoot the Sonic Wave to the boss, then he retaliates massive AoE attack that can kill everyone. So the person across from the center should not aim to the opposite side. He steps back and pound. You will see artifacts in the field and 2 players get target. Additional artifacts spawn on those 2 players. They should put them close. Then Shine Effect happens, which resets your spacebar cooldown. When he hits the bell, pulse spread out, so spacebar in. Then your spacebar gets another reset. Use it again to dodge all the pulse from where the artifacts are. If you get hit by the pulse multiple times, you will pretty much die. He attacks in donut range and resets your spacebar cooldown. Then hits the bell, which makes fast pulse. Spacebar right before he hits. Afterward, he charges and aggroes a player. When it's locked, he throws the bell, which does AoE attack. The safe spot is his back. There's a similar pattern. He doesn't do the donut and just throws the bell right away. In this case, the safe spot is his right butt. Sometimes he can do it twice in a row. This pattern happens when he's on the edge. He charges to the center with telegraph and hits the bell. Spacebar right before he hits to dodge the fast pulse. He puts his bell down and AoE attacks. Then he aggroes a player and requires guard. You guard the spin attack after the charge. When you see red flash, it's a grab. It has wide range, so stay out. If someone's grabbed, he grabs the nearby again. He charges, then turns back and requires a counter. He puts down his bell and glows red, then requires co-op counter. He claps the bells, gather to his front, which becomes the safe spot, then guard very slowly. He holds the bell to the inner side and charges with AoE attack, then slams the backside with puddles. Under certain HP, you can regularly see a yellow circle which spreads pulse after a few seconds. The safe spot is inside. Alright, that's everything to know. Wish you best on your prog. Stay GigaChad, spam noted.